Israel's God. He's Israel's God. He's Israel's God. But Jabez moves him from just being Israel God to his personal God. And so he said, Lord, I need your hand on me. And what he said, God, is I need consistent communication with you. I need a connection with you like never before. Yes, I want you to move me. Yes, I want you to advance me. Yes, I want you to enlarge me. Yes, I want you to pour into my life. But beyond all of that, I need you. I need constant communication with you. What does that look like? Here's what Jabez is saying, y'all, in that communication, y'all. He's saying that he is in possession of a relationship with God. Look, real communication with God is when you possess a relationship with him. And I hate to bust your bubble. I hate to bust your bubble because, y'all, some folk are taking this prayer of Jabez like it's your slot machine. You're going to put a quarter in, and you're going to pull it down, and God just going to pour out a blessing. Look, God ain't your personal genie. You can't rub on the side of a bottle and talk about and think something going to come out and God just going to blow some smoke. And that ain't how it happened for Jabez. It happened for Jabez out of, y'all, a personal relationship with God. And so Jabez said, God, I know I've communicated with you in the past out of our relationship. And as we move forward and as you advance me and enlarge me, the most important thing is that I keep my connection with you. And so the communication happens, y'all, when there is a possession of a relationship. What I'm trying to tell you is that you can't get God's stuff without getting him. And so having bold expectations, believing God, and asking God for the impossible, God is able to do it. But you have to possess a relationship with him. Somebody throw your head back and say, Jesus. If you're under the sound of my voice, don't think you go sneak into a blessing. You got to go through the Calvary, y'all. You got to go through Jesus Christ, y'all. It's a relationship with God through his son, Jesus. It ain't positive thinking, y'all. It's faith in God, y'all. And it comes through his son, Jesus. All those in the building that got a real relationship with him, throw your head back and say, thank you for a relationship. See, that's enough to shout on right there. If I get nothing else, I'm just glad that I'm saved. I'm just glad that I'm on my way to heaven. I'm just glad that he knows me and I know him. Look, I've used this illustration before. I'm trying to tell you, you got to possess a relationship. I've used it before. Excuse me for being trite. Couldn't think of nothing else. I'm going to tell you the same one I've told you before. You know, my daddy lives in Jackson, Mississippi. My daddy, he lives in Jackson, Mississippi. Robert Cathy is his name. Robert Earl Cathy is his name. That's his name. Yeah, that's his name. That's his name. You pick up the phone when you have to get at church, and I'll give you the number. You call Robert Cathy. You get him on the phone, and you say this to him. You say, Mr. Cathy, this is so and so. I live in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. In fact, Mr. Cathy, I'm a member of your son's church. I belong to his church, and Mr. Cathy, I found myself in a tight. I'm in a situation. I just believe that you can help me. I'm in some trouble, Mr. Cathy. I just believe that $700 will help me. And I know you got it because your son told me. I know you got it. Look. And let me tell you, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. On when you going to say that, and on the other side of the receiver, if you don't get a hang up, you know. What he's gonna say to you is, excuse me, but I don't know you. What gives you right to make claims on anything that's mine? And I don't know you. Now if I call him, I've known him all my life. And here I got a relationship. And if I go to him and say, Daddy, based on my relationship with you, I've come because I know you love me. And I love you. Daddy, I got a problem down in Hattiesburg. And if there's any way you can help me, need you to help me. And what he'll say is, son, I'll do everything I can do because you my boy and I believe in you. And when you in trouble, I'm in trouble. And so I come to the rescue. All I'm trying to get somebody to see it here today is that when you possess a relationship with the Lord, you can say, Father, I stretch my hand to thee. No other help I know. I wish I had somebody in here that know that you 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 know that you've been saved and got a real relationship with him. Somebody throw your head back and say, hey! And so Jabez is saying, what I want is your hand. And to me, a sign of your hand, God, is communication that results from a possession of a relationship that I have with you. But watch this, y'all. It's not just the possession of a relationship, y'all. It's a pursuit of fellowship. It's a pursuit of fellowship. It's a pursuit of fellowship, because many of us would declare that I got a relationship with God. Many of us would declare that I've prayed, if I asked Jesus to come into my heart, and the relationship that I have with him is strong enough to get me to heaven. You got a relationship with him, y'all. But Jabez not only had a relationship with him, Jabez had fellowship with him. Good God Almighty. He had fellowship. And see, what some of you do, some of you are like the prodigal son. You think you could get his stuff without him. And the prodigal son was just like, the prodigal son asked his daddy to give it to me. And his daddy gave it to him. The problem is that he wanted to enjoy it without the daddy. And he found himself messing up and without and in the hog pen. What Jabez was saying, Jabez said, I know me. I know how easy it is to one day to have my hands lifted and saying, God, you're the most important thing to me. One day to be in church, to be cried and say, God bless me. And then I know how easy it is to get what I want from you and turn my back on you. And forget to pray. And forget to go to Bible study. And don't even talk to me about doing no fasting. I ain't doing none of that. Why? Because there's no pursuit of fellowship. Jabez says, in order to sustain me on the next level, shake that person next to you and say, you're going to have to wake up now. You're going to have to wake up. Let me just give you a little secret. Let me give you a little secret. This is just for free. You ain't got to pay for it. Amen. When I look over here and I say something like that, it ain't nobody over there, somebody over there. I just don't want them to see that I'm looking at them. But if I turn like this, I'm talking. Wake up. He says, Jabez says, not only did he want to possess a relationship, but he was going to be in pursuit of fellowship with God. He said, because I'll mess this thing up. He said, I'm like that. I'll ask you for something and forget about you. Tell your neighbor, say, me too. Yeah. And so Jabez said, what I need as you take me to the next level, as you bless me with what I've never seen before, and as you give me what I've never had before, make me what I've never been before, I don't want it without communication with you. I don't want it without communication because I can't keep it without you. He said, I want your hand to be with me. His hand is what Jabez prayed for, y'all. But not only did he pray for communication when he said, let your hand be with me, y'all. Jabez was asking y'all for confirmation. He was asking for confirmation, y'all, because sometimes God will blow in your life in such a mighty way, and God will move at a fast pace, and he takes you to places you've never been before, and he pours into your life like you've never had it before. And then, y'all, that sometimes even though you walk in the blessings, y'all, you experience unsurmountable pressure and hardship. And so Jabez says, God, I'm moving out of the past and I'm stepping into what you have for me. But what I need for you to do is to confirm in me that what you're doing and what I'm doing is really what you told me to do and what you want me to do. Have you ever prayed, God, do you want me to move? I feel like you want me to move. I feel like you want me to pack up. You want me to go. And then you step out of faith and you go and you get out there and you start saying, did I miss him? Is this really what? Y'all prayed to ask God if you should marry the person you married? I'm being messy now. Just to get to the point of I do, and at the altar, and you get home and you say, did I do the right thing? Jabez understood that his thoughts were not God's thoughts. And sometimes I'll get in a situation and my thoughts are not where they ought to be. And sometime in the midst of that situation, we'll begin to doubt God and wonder if this is really what God is leading me to do. And so Jabez said, not only, God, do I need communication, he said, let your hand be with me. I want confirmation. It ain't got to be easy, God. I just want to know this is what you want me to do. It don't have to be sunshine all days, God. I just want to know that your hand is with me and I'm going in the right direction, y'all. And so here's what happens, y'all, when you get confirmation. What Jabez is really praying for, y'all, he's praying for personal peace. Personal peace. I'm talking about when you are in the midst of all type of turmoil, but you know it's God. Nothing is turning out the way you thought it was supposed to turn out. But Jabez says, even though external stimuli doesn't look good, do something on the inside of me that confirms that is really you. And so y'all, confirmation begins, y'all, with personal peace. Personal peace. Personal peace. You ever been smiling and didn't have no reason to smile? You ever been broke, busted, and disgusted? I'm talking about you down to your last dime, but to you everything's okay. Because you just know God has spoken to your heart. And down in your spirit, I got a feeling that everything is going to be all right. And so Jabez said, as you elevate me and as you expand me and as you pour big blessings in my life, I want confirmation. I want confirmation. I want personal peace. But it's two ways that confirmation happens, y'all. Not only is it personal peace, y'all, sometimes God gives powerful demonstration. And both of them are valid. So sometimes it's just an inward peace you get. And there's no outward evidence. It's just on the inside. I just believe him. Come on, lean over to your neighbor. I believe him. Come on, tell it like you really mean it. I believe it. Come on, say it with conviction. I believe it. I just got a feeling on the inside that he's working it for my good. That's a personal peace. But there are times, y'all, where God will blow your natural mind. I call it powerful demonstration. Come on, I know I ain't talking to nobody up in here. I know all y'all happily married, all that good stuff. I understand. I'm talking about your cousin now. Yeah. You know you got a crazy spouse. I'm talking about crazy. Just look straight ahead. Won't nobody Lord, how Pastor know? And you made up in your mind, I'm tired of cussing. I'm tired of fighting. I'm tired of begging. I'm tired of pleading. I'm about to go to the Lord. And you take that thing to the Lord in prayer, and like the old folk, you leave it there. And I ain't talking about 2 weeks later. I ain't talking about a week later. I'm talking about that joker come home that night and a change that happened. You talking all nice and all. Look, I'm telling you, sometimes God does powerful demonstration. No. You ain't get that. You ain't married. You ain't married. But us married folk know. You needed financial blessing. You needed it. And you decided, I'm going to stop going to check cashing and payday, getting in more debt. I'm going to go to God. And I'm going to do what God tells me to do. I'm going to trust him with the first fruit of my income. And before long, y'all, unsolicited, somebody call you, somebody do something for you. And y'all, this is no joke. This is no joke. I'm telling you, a woman just told me this just at the last service. She said, Regis Bank sent me $750. She said they told me that they had been charging me for 2 years overdraft. And they sent me a check. She said, I almost threw it away because I thought it was just some junk mail. But I opened it up and it was my blessing. It was a powerful demonstration that God had forgotten me. God knows where I am. God knows what I need. It's just confirmation. And that's what Jabez is asking for when he says, your hand with me. God, I'll do anything you want me to do. I'll go anywhere you want me to go. He said, but just confirm it with me. And he does it, y'all, either by personal peace, nothing going right, but it's a personal peace down on the inside. And though, y'all, sometimes it ain't just a personal peace, it's a powerful demonstration that God will step down in your natural. And he'll do something supernatural. And he'll just confirm to you that you're not by yourself. He'll be praying for something. And God will send somebody and say the exact thing that you prayed about. You'll come to church. And God will use the feebleness of my mouth to put words in my mouth to say something just where you are today. It's confirmation that God is at work in your life. And so he says, with your hand with me, he says, I want communication. But not only do I want communication, he says, Lord, I want confirmation. And then the last thing, y'all, he says, I need concentration. God, I've already told you that if I'm not careful, I'll be fly by night. I'll be focusing on you 1 minute, and I'll lose focus the next minute. Come on, help your neighbor. Ever been there? I'm talking about, God, I can't live without you 1 minute. And then you get all right, you get your little blessing, you get your little job, you get your little boo, you know, it all starts, it all come together for you. It all come together for you. And it's easy for us, y'all, to forget what he's done for you. But Jabez says, I need your hand with me. Let your hand be with me. Give me communication. Give me confirmation. But God, I need concentration. I need to keep my focus on you. I don't need to step out in here, get in territory I've never been before and get the big head. I don't need to lose where I know you brought me. And so he prays, y'all. He prays for concentration when he asks for his hand, y'all. What does concentration look like, y'all? It's a positive outlook. It's a positive outlook. Repeat after me. This is my last day. Complaining and murmuring, because God is at work in my life. See, Jabez says, when I get out here and I'm in this new territory, I'll have some difficult days, but help me keep a positive outlook. Let me not lose and forget what you've already done for me. Help me to remember that your hand is on me, that you're right here walking with me. Tap your neighbor and say, keep a positive outlook. Keep your head up. Keep your shoulders squared. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. It's a positive outlook. How do you get a positive outlook? You declare that God is able. 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 Daniel is in the lion's den, but he got a positive outlook because God is with him. The three Hebrew boys, they're in the fiery furnace, but he got a positive outlook. Why? Because God is with me. I don't know what your situation is, but you got to keep a positive outlook. Because God is. He's with you. You got his hand. Oh, God. And when you got his hand, y'all, you're never alone. You look like you're walking through the shadow of death. But thou art with me. The rod and the staff, they comfort me. Oh! And somebody ought to say, I feel some pushing me. Grace and mercy. Pushing up the rear. I'm not by myself. God's hand is with me. Is with me. Is with me. Go and say to yourself, I ain't by myself. I ain't by myself. I ain't by myself. I ain't by myself, y'all. I'm not by myself. Y'all, I got to go to the house. Y'all, I got to close it out. I got to close it out. He says, I want you to give me concentration. And concentration, y'all, what it looks like is a positive outlook, and it's a praiseful response. Whew. And it goes hand in hand, y'all. Because when you got a positive outlook that's rooted in faith, that believes that God is, somebody say he's able. Yeah. And out of that positive outlook, which is really faith, y'all, you get this praiseful response. And it's when you give God praise in every situation. That's what it means to have his hand with you, y'all. When you give him praise in every situation. Y'all, I went to a funeral the other day. Constance Caesar's grandmother. And I'm sitting in the funeral. And when I go to other places, y'all, I try to act dignified. I be wanting to make y'all proud of me. We want y'all to be proud of your pastor. I try to go, I act up over here, but I go other places, I try to act all cool, calm, and collected. But Constance stood up and took the mic. And y'all almost lost it. I almost forgot I wasn't at West Point. I almost lost my cool, y'all. I almost lost it, y'all, because she started to testify about grandmama. And she says, y'all, that while grandmama is lying in ICU, barely responsive, good God Almighty, barely responsive, when they couldn't get her to respond to their voices and couldn't get them to respond to her, Constance says that there was two things that grandmama kept saying. Yes, Lord, and thank you, Jesus. Didn't have much else to say. Y'all almost lost it in the funeral. Because on your deathbed, you can still have a praiseful response. Yes, Lord. And thank you, Jesus. I don't know what you're going through today, but